The 8 rarest and weirdest pickups from the 1960s you never knew about. Before pickups played it safe, the 1960s turned them into wild experiments. Rules were ignored, logic was optional, and engineers ran free. Engines were misplaced, cabins were extreme, and proportions looked wrong on purpose. Some were desperate ideas, others bold challenges, and a few should have never existed. 8. Chevrolet Corvair 95 Rampside 1961 to 1964. Now imagine a pickup with a rear engine, a perfectly flat floor, and a side-loading ramp instead of a tailgate. The Chevrolet Corvair 95 Rampside didn't look like a truck. It looked like industrial machinery on wheels, and honestly, that was exactly Chevrolet's goal. This wasn't built to outmuscle other pickups. It was built to rethink the entire idea of what a pickup could be. Underneath, the Rampside rode on the Corvair 95 forward control platform, powered by an air-cooled flat, 6 sitting behind the rear axle. Early versions used a 2.4L engine, making up to 95 horsepower and around 128 pounds-ft of torque. Not headline numbers, but the layout changed the entire experience. With the engine out back, the cargo floor dropped ridiculously low. Suddenly, loading heavy gear didn't feel like a gym workout, and then came the Rampside's party trick, a drop-down side ramp instead of a traditional bed. You didn't lift equipment into this truck, you rolled it straight in. Crates, tools, motorcycles. Everything slid in effortlessly. For delivery drivers and city crews, this wasn't clever, it was revolutionary. No American pickup came close to offering something this practical. Driving one was equally strange in the best way. With weight over the rear wheels, traction improved when loaded. Independent suspension made it smoother than the leaf spring, giants of the era. Light steering, great visibility, and ridiculous maneuverability made it feel almost urban-friendly. Sure, it topped out around 75 miles per hour, but this wasn't about speed. This was about usefulness. But bold ideas rarely come without trade-offs. 7. Jeep Forward Control FC150 FC170 1961 to 1965. The Jeep Forward Control always seemed like it was driving the wrong way. Cab shoved all the way to the front, wheels tucked underneath, and a hood so short it was practically a rumor. It didn't look like a pickup, it looked like a rolling power tool. And that strange, slightly unsettling design, that's exactly what made it brilliant. Born in the early 1960s, the FC150 and its bigger sibling, the FC170, were built on Jeep's rock-solid four-wheel drive foundation. But the cab-over layout changed everything. By placing the cab directly above the front axle, Jeep stretched the usable bed space without stretching the truck itself. Short footprint, long cargo area, a perfect formula for military crews, forestry teams, and industrial operators who needed maneuverability more than comfort. Under the skin, the forward control used Jeep's famously tough inline engines. Most models packed a 3.7L inline 6, making around 140 horsepower and roughly 210 pounds-feet of process torque. Not speed numbers, control numbers. Matched with solid axles and a low-range transfer case, the FC didn't just go off-road. It crawled, climbed, and clawed its way across terrain where ordinary pickups simply tapped out. On the rough stuff, the FC felt unstoppable. High ground clearance, short overhangs, and constant traction made it a natural fit for fire services, mining operations, and off-grid construction. 6. Ford Econoline. Pickup 1961 to 1967. Flat nose, upright windshield, a cab pushed so far forward, it felt more van than truck. Even in the 1960s, a decade filled with bold automotive ideas, the Ford Econoline pickup stood out as something completely different. And that unusual layout didn't just make it look unique, it changed what a pickup could do. Ford launched the Econoline pickup as part of its forward control experiment, placing the driver directly over the front axle. With almost no hood and a compact overall length, it delivered big truck utility in a small footprint. It wasn't built for cowboys and highways, It was built for cities, contractors, delivery crews, and anyone who needed maneuverability more than muscle. Early models packed a 2.8L inline, 6 producing around 90 horsepower and 138 pounds-feet of torque. Later versions bumped output to about 120 horsepower and roughly 190 pounds-ft power. Went to the rear wheels through a simple, durable drivetrain. Nothing fancy, just built to work, day after day. Driving an Econoline pickup was unlike anything else on the road. Sitting right over the axle gave the driver a commanding, forward-leaning view, but it also made the steering feel direct and sometimes heavy. Acceleration was calm rather than exciting. Yet torque delivery stayed smooth and reliable, especially with cargo on board. Top speed hovered around 70 miles per hour. But speed was never the sales pitch. 5. Dodge A100 pickup 1964 to 1970. No long hood, no classic truck silhouette, just a flat face, a tiny wheelbase, and a layout that looked more workshop equipment than family pickup. The Dodge A100 wasn't pretending to be different. It was different. A machine built with purpose, not prettiness. Dodge launched the A100 as part of its forward control lineup, putting the cab directly over the front axle. That simple shift unlocked huge cargo space without stretching the truck's size. While the rest of the market chased bigger, wider, and heavier, Dodge went compact and clever, perfect for city deliveries, small businesses, and tradesmen navigating tight urban spaces. Under the skin, the A100 relied on Chrysler's trusty inline 6 engines. Early models used a 2.8L unit, making 101 horsepower and 146 pounds-ft of torque. Later versions pushed out about 140 horsepower and roughly 210 pounds-ft. Not built for speed, built for durability, low-end grunt, and endless stop-and-go work without complaint. Power ran to the rear wheels through a simple, rugged drivetrain that valued longevity over excitement. Driving an A100 was an experience all its own. Sitting right over the axle made steering feel raw and mechanical, like you were directly connected to the pavement. Acceleration was steady, but torque made it confident when hauling gear. 4. Studebaker Champ 1960 to 1964. Nothing about this truck was meant to last long. It arrived in a moment when Studebaker was fighting uncertainty, not celebrating success. No flashy designs, no big marketing push. Just a simple, honest machine focused on doing the job and doing it well. Ironically, that quiet confidence is exactly why it stands out today. The Champ was a clever mashup born out of necessity. Studebaker took the cab from its Lark passenger car and mounted it onto a traditional pickup frame. At a glance, it looked familiar, almost ordinary. But the proportions felt just a bit different. More car-like curves, softer lines, and a restrained presence compared to Detroit's bold chrome-heavy trucks. It didn't shout tough, it whispered reliable. Under the hood, Studebaker gave buyers real choices. Base models came with a 2.8L inline, 6 making around 112 horsepower and 150 pounds-ft of torque. But the real surprise was the optional 4.7L V8, a powerhouse delivering 225 horsepower and roughly 300 pounds-ft of torque. That engine turned the Champ into one of the strongest compact pickups of its time, punching far above its weight in towing and hauling. On the road, the Champ behaved exactly like its name suggested: steady, predictable, and balanced. Steering was lighter than most full-size trucks. Ride comfort was surprisingly car-like. 3. Toyota Land Cruiser FJ45 Pickup 1963 to 1969. The Toyota Land Cruiser FJ45 pickup wasn't created for comfort, styling, or daily errands. It was engineered for the places nobody wanted to go, the places without pavement, without safety nets, and sometimes without second chances. Every bolt, every weld, every sharp edge served a purpose. Nothing here was soft, nothing was unnecessary. This truck was pure survival on 4 wheels. Built on Toyota's already battle-proven Land Cruiser platform, the FJ45 took toughness to class toolers another level. Its long wheelbase pickup form meant real hauling ability, but its tall stance and rigid ladder frame made it feel more like a piece of heavy equipment than a consumer vehicle. Flat metal, exposed hardware, upright cab. It didn't try to impress you, it tried to outlast everything around it. Under the hood sat a 3.9L inline 6, delivering about 125 horsepower and 209 pounds-feet of torque. Not big numbers, but that wasn't the point. This engine was built for low-end torque, simple repairs, and brutal reliability in the worst conditions on the planet. With a 4-speed manual and proper 4-wheel drive, the FJ45 could tow, climb, and drag itself through terrain that made other pickups cry uncle. Off-road, the FJ45 didn't feel challenged. It felt in its element. Solid axles, leaf springs, short overhangs. The formula was simple, old school, and nearly indestructible. The steering was heavy. The ride was unforgiving. And the cabin was loud enough to make conversation optional. 2. Toyota Stout Pickup 1964 to 1969. Before the world cared about flashy pickups or big performance numbers, Toyota built something far more valuable. A truck that simply refused to quit. The Toyota Stout didn't chase trends, noise, or style. It stepped into the 1960s with quiet confidence. Built not to impress, but to endure. One of Toyota's earliest serious global pickup efforts, the Stout was designed for places where reliability meant everything and fashion meant nothing. Its square profile, upright cab, and no-nonsense flatbed weren't sculpted for beauty. They were engineered for load-bearing and long-term punishment. Thick steel panels, a rigid frame, conservative proportions. This was a truck designed with restraint, not risk. Under the hood sat a 1.9L inline 4 producing about 85 horsepower and roughly 100 pounds-ft of torque. Even in its era, those numbers were modest. But that wasn't the mission. This engine was intentionally simple, easy to service, and built to run hour after hour without protest. Matched with a 4-speed manual and rear-wheel drive, the Stout delivered consistency over excitement. 1. Volkswagen Type 2. Single cab pickup 1960 to 1967. It didn't look tough, and it didn't pretend to be. The single cab earned its reputation by thinking differently, not by looking the part. The Volkswagen Type 2 single cab stepped into the 1960s with function leading the sexton, way and ego nowhere in sight. Every odd angle, every flat panel, every hinge had a job to do, and none of it was accidental. Built on the same platform as the iconic microbus, the single cab carried over its cab-forward layout, placing the driver almost directly above the front wheels to free up maximum cargo space behind. Flat sides, drop-down bed gates, and a compact footprint made it look more like industrial equipment than a traditional pickup. In a decade defined by long hoods and big engines, the single cab appeared completely out of place, and that was exactly why it worked so well. A rear-mounted one. 5L air-cooled flat. 4 engine. Provided around 53 horsepower and roughly 75 lb-ft of torque. Modest numbers, but perfect for a truck built on simplicity. No radiator to fail, minimal wiring to chase, easy access to everything. It wasn't fast, but it was dependable, especially with weight in the bed, where rear-wheel traction came alive. On the road, the single cab moved with steady intention. Acceleration felt patient rather than urgent. Steering was light, visibility was excellent, and that forward seating position made city streets feel almost welcoming. Comfort wasn't the mission, carrying weight was. Loaded with tools, supplies, or equipment, the truck felt more stable than when empty, exactly as designed. With a top speed around 65 miles per hour, speed was never the point. This truck was about access and efficiency. It could slip through narrow alleys, park in tight spaces, and unload quickly, thanks to its fold-down bed sides. For farmers, city crews, and small businesses, it was more practical than the big pickups of its era. The Volkswagen Type 2 single cab became a workhorse across Europe, South America, Australia, and developing markets where simplicity mattered far more than power.